to spend time with, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. I mean, we are looking at the positives, we are being careful, you're being cautious, but at the same time, you have to appreciate family time. I was just going
Yeah,
to
yeah.
say, usually at this time, I'd probably be saying hello to you in Chinnaswamy or some of the other
Yeah,
stadiums,
exactly.
not on Instagram Live.
Exactly.
So, yeah, these are
I
strange
know.
times.
It is, and they say that in the UK it could be, if the public don't behave themselves, it could be a June lockdown. I mean, that's stuck in your houses until June to get rid of the peak of what's
Wow.
happening at the moment. I mean, and you say we have, at least we have space. A lot of people don't have space, so crikey,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just hope
yeah.
people behave for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, try and just do whatever they can to get through it,
Mhm.
and then hopefully we get through the rest of it. What are you missing most about not being able to be footloose and fancy free?
Nothing.
You're not missing anything
Nothing. I just told my brother,
apart from your barber.
my brother messaged me 2 days back and he was like, I'm dying. So in our place in Gurgaon, near Delhi, we have a gym in the basement. He's never used the gym. And now he's in the gym every day and he's understanding the importance of that gym. So he told me I can't take it anymore. I need to go out. I'm just getting stuck in the house and it's difficult. He's with family as well, but people are just not used to being home.
Yeah,
And that's when I told him, welcome to our side of the world, welcome to our life. This is our life
yeah,
every day. So
absolutely.
we we are in isolation every day.
That's true. Jesus,
Yeah.
especially you guys in India. I mean, at least here we can get out, and I think you love touring England and Australia and stuff where you can go to the beaches but I mean, in India, it's quite intense, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But to be honest, we're just grateful that we're home. We're in one place, with all the
Mm,
travel restrictions now. Imagine if we were still on tour and stuck in some country and
yeah.
could have been very, very difficult for everyone around, just stuck in different parts of the world. And I wanted to ask you, what's been the mindset of people in the UK? How are they dealing with the situation? How are they looking at things? And is there panic? Is there sort of
Mate, there
confusion?
has been a reasonable amount of panic. I think people stockpiled for the first week or two a couple of weeks ago.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't understand the situation at the moment. We live on the flight path at Heathrow, and you can still see some airplanes in the air. I saw one of the airlines grounded their fleet recently.
Yeah.
British Airways were talking about letting go of 30,000 people on leave at the moment, and so I mean, I still don't understand how they haven't completely closed the borders here yet. When I came back from shooting that documentary a couple of weeks ago, there was quite a
Hmm.
big outcry. I flew in from, where was I? I was in, where did I fly? It was Mumbai or Delhi. I flew in from somewhere and I walked straight through the border. No one's checking temperatures. At least in India, they were checking our temperatures. Before I even went into the hotel in Delhi, we had our temperatures checked. Everything was being checked, but it was very lackadaisical here. And apparently, it's still the same way at the borders, which is, I mean, it's crazy to think it's going on like that. Crazy, and the numbers are just going. They're
I know
skyrocketing,
that's
skyrocketing.
strange to hear. Honestly, our response has been quite good. I mean,
Yep.
apart from few people that you would have seen the videos who haven't really respected the guidelines being
Yeah.
laid out, and I just don't understand how that happens because if you're looking to address a larger issue, there's a thing of unity that
Mm,
everyone should have, which unfortunately hasn't been the case with everyone. I think 80% of the people have taken it on board, but still those
mm.
20% can be a huge, huge issue going forward. As you said, the spike is immense going into week 3 and 4. So I just hope that
Yeah.
people, get some sense into them and just
How are
stay
you
off the
training? Are
streets.
you training?
We actually got all our stuff put into a big car and we got our stuff here. Everything that
Mm.
because I knew that if this goes on for longer, you still need to be able to train, and so I've got my lifting Olympic bar and plates, and there's a little garden to run around, and
All right,
so
E-man.
yeah,
All right, E-man.
me and Anushka have been training well.
Mate,
Yes.
I've seen it. Don't call it an Olympic bar. You need to be calling it something. Because the last time I saw legs like yours, they were hanging outside the nest. Little pencil legs. Here they are.
You know, it,
Little pencil legs.
it helps. It helps when you got big legs like yours, and you still pop a calf muscle. I've never popped my calf in my life.
Mate,
Look,
remember that. It looked like somebody shot me.
it was in Pune. I knew I was standing in slips, and I was like, "What the hell just happened to him?" So no use of big legs if you can't run. I'm sorry.
This is very true. And what I'm actually going to say now, just leave it, guys. Me and Virat are having a conversation here, and I know that there's a lot of people are very interested in this interview. We're just talking as friends, we're talking as buddies, and we're going to go back to 2009 now. We're going to talk about Bangalore, and we're going to have some fun. This is just Virat and I having some fun. This is not for any journalist to take this on one way or another way and to create ridiculous headlines. So please, if you're going to do that, then it's obviously going to finish off any conversations between people who just want to give normal fans some content. So just please respect the conversation. Dude,
Okay, hold on. Don't worry about this big lecture because no one's heard you. This is gonna go off anyway, so just carry on.
Okay, I tried.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Listen, RCB.
Yeah, go on.
Talk to me about the bloke in the middle of the picture that I posted this morning on Instagram. There was a guy that I posted in between that guy that's perfect and pure and has the most amazing beard compared to this guy in 2009.
Well, I don't recognize him anymore, to be honest.
I do.
I know you do. Yeah, I know. Good old days, but we had a lot of fun. We had amazing times together. I think right from 2008. You came in 2009, didn't you?
Yeah, 2009 was, I think, yeah, that was my first season, yeah.
Yeah, 9 and 10, you were with us. Yeah, 2009 is when we really sort of got it going. We really hit off well from day one. And yeah, they were good times. I mean, you obviously came in as the star player, like the big KP and, this all over South Africa, brew, bloody hell. Yeah, but it was fun. I remember all those days and playing with Jock and Dale and Mark Boucher as well.
And we had
Rahul
in our team. We had
Anil
Kumble in the
Kumble,
team.
Rahul Dravid, Robin.
Dale Stein.
We had a gun team.
Yeah.
Manish came on board. Manish Pandey, he got a century in that season.
Remember, he got a century there at Centurion Park.
Yep. You know what's the most... do you remember Jesse Ryder and Roelof van der Merwe?
I forgot about those two. Jeez,
You cannot forget about both of them in that season. They were the highlight of that whole season. How can you forget both of them?
That's true.
They were bad news. They were bad news together.
Justice. That a real van der Merwe. You gave him anything that looked like a bottle of wine, and he just turned into somebody. It was, oh my goodness. It was.
I mean, the
yeah,
kind
that
of
was
things
funny.
done, I can't really talk about them.
Every single time I get asked a question about you, I always refer to the questions, even though you were a bit of a. In 2009, you always sat next to the right players who you wanted to learn from the most. You had a very inquisitive brain when you were sitting next to the Callises, the Kumbles, the Dravi. You just wanted to learn, didn't you? You just wanted to be the best player.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty obvious. I mean, for a youngster having all of these people around yourself when you came and you were at the peak of your career, and for me, it was just an opportunity to just absorb as much as I can. If I wanted to go higher and higher, I just had to do it. So, yeah, it was a no-brainer for me. There's different ways you can look at the IPL. Nowadays, there are a lot of youngsters who still ask those questions. I'm not sure of the other teams, but the people that we interact with, the guys in the Indian team, they ask those questions, which are, the right questions. So, yeah, it's basically how you look at things. And I always want to just be the best version of myself, and learning from you guys was a no-brainer.
Did you think that you would become as good as you become?
Never. I was just talking to my coach the other day, 2 days ago. If someone told me 12 years ago you'll have these numbers after 12 years, I would have told them to get lost. No chance.
That's amazing, huh?
I mean, just God's been kind. If your mind's in the right place, if you're thinking about the right thing, you have the right kind of vision, and to keep following regardless of all the noise around you, the results follow. If you look at the numbers and keep striving for the numbers, then the numbers go down, the career goes down, everything is lost.
So what are you striving? What do you strive for now? Every time you come out and bat, whether it be for RCB or for India, what are you're just thinking end game is to win, and how do I win this game? You're not thinking about anything. There's no other clutter.
Not at all. Not at all. For me, the most important thing is how can I contribute to make my team win? Because that is what we started playing cricket for, when we were really, really small. So
Yeah.
I don't think why that intent should change, why that mindset should change.
Mm.
It hasn't honestly changed with me. There's a lot of things that people try and create in India. They try and cook things up, stir things up. You
Yeah.
have experienced that a lot when you were playing as well. So
Yeah.
it's basically you just have to block the noise. And whenever I go to bat now, I understand that cricket is a small part of our lives, and I need to be able to make the most of the opportunity that I have in front of me.
Yeah.
And I have a larger responsibility now, to be able to maintain this culture of fitness,
Of
of
course.
taking the team in the right direction. And I mean, you just have to be grateful that you have this opportunity, and you
Yeah.
just need to make sure all your energy is in the right place to be able to do that.
Where did your nickname Chiku come from?
Chiku actually came from, MS has sort of made my nickname famous from behind the stumps. In the stump mics, people pick up. They call me Chiku actually like I'm their neighbor or something like that in India. They'll shout out, "Oh, Chiku, once photo, please." And I'm like, I have a name. You don't know me, but you can't call me Chiku.
Jesus, so when this all finishes, you're going to walk down the street, Chiku!
Yeah, I get called out by the name of Chiku all the time. No one calls me Virat anymore. Either Kohli or Chiku. That's it.
It's amazing. Man. I come to India and they all call me Peter. I'm saying, who the fuck's Peter? Peter! 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 Who's Peter?
No, I got this nickname by a coach we had in the state team, actually the Ranji Trophy, our first class teams. And I used to have big cheeks back then. And I had in 2000, I remember
Sorry. You used to have what?
big cheeks.
Big cheeks.
Cheeks, yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for clarifying. I didn't hear you correctly.
I had big cheeks back
Yeah.
then. In 2007, I thought I'm losing hair. My hair's shedding. I'm having a massive hair fall. So I got my hair cut really short like yours now. I look like a clown, and I have big ears. So my my cheeks stood out and my ears stood out. And so we used to have this comic in India, like a comic book when we were growing up
Yeah.
called Champak. It was called Champak.
Yeah.
And there was a rabbit in that comic.
Yeah.
That character's name was Chiku. So the coach called me Chiku the rabbit because I had big ears. So that's where the nickname came from. And then people started taking it up, and it went up to God knows where.
Brilliant. And tell me, RCB, a lot of people, since this thing went out, I've had such a busy phone in the last 24 hours. I mean, it's crazy. Why? And one of the big things was they want to ask, why have RCB not won a title yet? I mean, we get asked it all the time. We have to try and explain it in the commentary box. It's like, oh my God, geez, just stop asking the same question. Do you get sick of the same questions?
Look, when you have in like history in the previous seasons as well, when you've had the biggest players who played for RCB, obviously there's going to be much more attention on the team. Now you see, even with this team, myself, AB, Chris Gale, Dale had played recently as well, and
Yeah.
all these great big players have played for RCB. So we're always going to be more in focus. But we actually spoke about it. We've reached 3 finals. We haven't won either single one of them. We've reached 3 semifinals. But yeah, those things are irrelevant. Those things are irrelevant as till the time you don't win that title. So look, we feel the same as everyone, to be honest. We keep talking about winning the team that we have. Even when we've had the best teams, we've just not been able to do it. But yeah, that's one of our main goals. We actually deserve to win a title, to be honest, because
Is that something that you are focused on now? We'll move on to Indian cricket in a minute, but is that something that, I mean, you've achieved almost every single thing in the game. Your numbers are crazy. Do you really want to win an IPL?
Actually, I've realized something, that to go after something so badly, it keeps running away from you. And I remember all the times when we've done well in RCB, we've never thought of whether we're going to win the IPL or whether we're going to reach the semis or knockouts or anything like that. But it's just that added pressure. Whenever we've played in the recent past, we've just thought this is the season, and it's just blown us all over the place. So I think we just need to get that joy back. And at
Yeah.
this stage of my life, to be honest, I give everything that I have on the field,
How
and I
old are you
feel
now?
like I'm going to be 32 this year.
32?
Yes, sir.
Jesus. Okay. No, I wouldn't have guessed that. Right. I would have get 38, 39, somewhere around there.
32, 31. I'm 88 born, so how old am I now? 89, 90, 91. I can't even count. I was shit at maths.
There's the headline tomorrow. Virat doesn't know how old he is.
I'm 31.
Hey,
I'm 31 at the moment. Yeah.
if that's as bad as it gets, then we've done really well in this session.
I'm 31.
Let's-
31.
31?
Yeah.
Okay. We get on to Indian cricket, and we talked about your transformation from 2009 to the person that you are now, and how fit you are, and how structured you are, and how much you train. Was that something that you desperately wanted to bring to Indian cricket? I remember playing against India when my first time I played against India was 2006. We toured India after that 2005 Ashes, and there was Tendulkar, Laxman, Dravid, Kumble, Harbhajan, Ajit Agarkar, Zahir Khan, Ashish Nehra. All these guys were playing. And I mean, you'd hit it to extra cover and you'd run 4. Yes, no problem. You just run 4. Whereas now, the team that you've got, you hit it to extra cover. You don't even think about running. Is that something that you've been so focused on and dedicated to bring into Indian cricket, that strive to make sure that in the field, we're the best?
Look, I started playing in 2008. I saw 2009, 10, 11 is when we won the World Cup. When you played that shit shot and we drew the game in Bangalore. 11 is when I got you out stumped down the leg side without
Right.
bowling a legitimate.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Just talk about you.
Okay. So I saw 2009, 10, 11. These were my regular years with India. and then 12, that England tour when we came to England in 2011.
Yeah.
We lost badly there.
Yeah, you did.
2012,
You got whacked.
2012 Australia tour was a difficult one as well. So I thought, there's always a natural transition that happens in every team. And I was lucky that I was in the center of that transition when it was happening. And I got the opportunity to see both sides of things, like what we were lacking as a side and what the world was catching up on, and they were becoming far more superior compared to us. So the plan was clear. I mean, when the next lot of players come in, this is the direction we're going to go in. And to be honest, I was lucky that I played with a group of players who were driven, similar age group, and together from number 7 or 8 in the world in Test cricket. For 3 years now, we've been number 1. So it's been quite a astonishing journey. It's quite unbelievable, to be honest, because we had no experience and we beat everyone, most places. We competed everywhere we went in the world, and it's just that to be able to come to the top of world cricket again has been a great journey. But then again, it gave us a vision, a goal to achieve, and all our focus was towards that.
And with the IPL, you see a lot of teams that come to India now, and they're a lot more competitive. I remember we came to India and actually beat India in 2011, 2012, and that's because a lot of us actually feel at home in India as foreigners.
True.
India have an issue traveling abroad. They have a real issue traveling abroad. What do you think the biggest issue for you guys is traveling abroad? I'm talking results.
Now, to be honest, before when we used to tour, it used to happen sporadically. Like we would come to England every 3 or 4 years, and in between there was nothing. But India, you guys would come every year for the IPL and get used to the conditions and so on and so forth. But now, when there's so much cricket happening, we don't feel any conditions are alien, to be honest. Now, I feel like traveling to other countries and playing at home is a level field. Anyone can beat anyone anywhere. Because we're playing each other so much in different conditions all the time. Australia, I remember we went to Australia for a whole tour, and then suddenly 3 weeks after that, they were in India playing ODIs against us.
Yeah.
That would never happen before. So now it's not a question of whether we know the conditions or not. It's all about the mindset, the fatigue, whether you play too much cricket, whether you're ready mentally, physically or not. So I think those are the challenges now. Now we don't feel like any condition is sort of alien to us, and that I think is the most exciting part.
Do you feel like you play too much? I remember in my career, I was having huge arguments and disagreements with the ECB because of my schedule. And all I wanted the ECB to manage was my schedule because I was playing every T20 game, every one-day international, every test match cricket, and I didn't want to miss out on the IPL, which is what guys don't miss out on now. Do you feel like you play too much cricket?
Look, I've been taking breaks, honestly. I felt like last 2, 3 seasons I was doing too much, so I started taking breaks every now and then, T20 matches here and there, maybe a ODI series here and there, because I didn't want to miss any Test cricket, to be honest. And T20 cricket, in between, I just felt like there were too many games that had no relevance, and I've spoken about it in the press as well quite a few times that you just can't have matches where you have zero sort of motivation or energy, and I don't like to play like that.
Yeah.
But I've just thought about it. I've been playing 3 formats for 9 years now, including the IPL, along with captaincy for 6 years. So it's not easy. It's not easy.
No.
But
No.
I'll see. I said 2, 3 years more. I think till the next World Cup. I'm gonna give it all and then figure out where I stand, which format, what not, all those questions later.
And obviously one of the biggest changes that you've made, and I know that, I mean, I campaign for wildlife all the time, and the thing that people hammer me the most about is eating meat. Now, you're vegetarian, you made that decision because believe me, in 2009, 2010, when we hung out, you weren't a vegetarian. you're now, you're now a vegetarian.
I wasn't a vegetarian till 2018 when we actually came to England. I left eating meat just before the Test series started, and
Why?
I'd been thinking about it. I'll tell you the real reason. I mean, people use different kinds of reasons and they try and figure out themselves. So in 2018, when we went to South Africa, I got a cervical spine issue while playing a Test match
You got
at
what?
Centurion. A cervical spine issue. One of the discs in my cervical spine, they bulged out and it compressed a nerve which was running straight till the little finger of my right hand. So it gave me a tingling sensation. I could barely feel my little finger on the right hand.
Wow.
I couldn't sleep at night. Yeah, it was hurting like mad. I couldn't sleep at night. And then I got my test done, and my stomach was too acidic. So my body was creating too much uric acid. My body was too acidic. So what was happening was, even though I was taking calcium, magnesium, everything, one tablet was not sufficient for my body to function properly. So my stomach started pulling calcium from my bones, and my bones got weaker. And that's why I got this issue. So that's why I stopped eating meat completely in the middle of the England tour to cut down that uric acid and the acidity in my body. And then I've never felt better in my life, to be honest. I felt amazing. It's almost been 2 years now, and it's the best decision I've taken in my life.
Really? It's amazing. I mean, you look amazing. And I mean, I've tried that now. So I've seen all this and I watched that film, that Game Changers or whatever, that film. I think you were part of that film. And I mean, I have vegetarian days. Jess and I have vegetarian days at home. And you do feel so light. You feel amazing, don't you?
Yeah, amazing. I mean, I've never felt better waking up. I've never felt better when I have to recover after a game. I mean, if you make me play 3 games a week, which are intense, I'm at it 120% every game. I can recover within a day after a test match and go on another test match. It's so much better than being on meat. Being vegetarian now made me feel. Honestly, I felt like, why didn't I do it before? I should have done it 2, 3 years earlier. To be honest, it's completely changed everything. You start feeling better. You start thinking better. Your body's lighter. You're more positive, you have more energy to do more. So yes, overall, it's just been an amazing, amazing change. Are you guys doing it as well?
Thank goodness I don't have to play 3 games a week because there's no way in this world a South African can go without meat, dude. I do it for maybe one day or 2 days a week. If I'm feeling really generous, I'll give it 2 days. But there's no ways. I just can't do it. I mean, I got a beautiful barbecue out here. I mean, as much as I would love to, as much as you're trying to sell a great story, it just, I mean, and I do feel great. And that movie, mate, that Game Changers film that I watched, it really does paint a really good picture. But I just couldn't do it, mate. Couldn't do it. No way.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
but you talk about that that ability to be able to turn on every single day. I was running on a treadmill in geez, I don't know where it was, and MS came and jumped on the treadmill next to me. And
mhm.
first of all, to see MS in the gym at that stage, I was like, oh, Jesus, what are you doing in here? Um, and we started talking about you and started talking about your leadership. It was at the time that he was just starting to finish in that. And he said
Mm,
one of the things that he said that would interest him would be whether or not you would be able to maintain that energy on the field, that excitement on the
mm,
field, that
mm,
aggressive leadership on the field. And I said to him, I
mm.
said, Jesus, I said, surely you cannot love cricket that much that you want to just start swinging punches every time you walk out onto the field. and you've done it. Why is it because of your diet or is it because of what's in your in between your ears? Not that there's much there. What is it?
Yeah, there's a bit of crazy up here as well. I wouldn't deny
I
it.
know.
But look, as I said, I mean, I know, and you can ask MS that as well. When I played under MS, I was in his ears every over. Maybe we can do this, maybe we can do that. If, there was a time where you had to field on the boundary, I would run from long on to long on. I wanted to be in the right place at the right time. Even now, even if I'm captain or not, I don't think standing on the field I need to behave myself because I'm captain. I need to be able to enjoy the game first and think about
Yeah.
strategy and all that later because that is who I am. So I cannot play any other way. I will give
Yeah.
120% every ball.
Yeah.
And I made a promise to myself the day I stop feeling like I can do it, I'll stop playing. I want to be
Really?
able to play till the time I play the way I play right now with
Oh,
the same
Jesus. So,
intensity.
so,
Otherwise,
so
I will
we,
not.
so, so we're going to have to keep talking over the next few years about how you want us to jump in a UFC ring every time you up on a cricket field.
I just like
Yeah,
to
you
get it going.
bad! I was going to swear a little bit, but I'll stop.
That's what my teammates and bowlers say as well. They say you celebrate more than us when we take a wicket.
I mean,
I
it's a
said I
good
can't
thing.
control myself.
It's a
Yeah,
good
it's a
thing.
good thing.